This is all the candidates for District 1 through 3. So before we get started, we'll do a round robin. Everybody have an opportunity to address the question. I'm just going to round the tables, okay? So everybody will get an opportunity. There's only 2 or 3 questions, so everybody gets an opportunity to answer the questions, okay? So before we begin, this session is for County Magistrate, District 1 through 3. We're operating in a round robin fashion, starting to the left, moving to the right. Before we begin, I do want to apologize to Mr. Smith. I inadvertently left out his name tag card, and I do apologize, sir. As we begin, rules of order, all participants will conduct themselves with professional dispositions and provide direct and specific answers to questions posed by the moderator. There will be no mudslinging and false allegations made during the informed discussion. If a candidate is challenged on a point of order, then you would have an opportunity to rebut that specific point of order. We'll have a number of questions. Does everybody understand? Start to my left. All right. The name tags are getting out of skew, so I may not be able to address your name once I can see it. So I apologize. So starting on my left, Ms. Gray, what are your plans for economic development, fiscal stewardship of the taxpayers' money, and oversight of county fiscal operations?
I think our county, in general, needs to grow. I think a lot of it is going to depend on tourism. I think that we need to encourage tourism here. To me, that's the biggest investment in our county. I think that we are going to have a lot of people come from other counties to see our county, and we need to invest in that. As far as taxpayers' money, I think we need to look around at our county and see the most important needs that we have. I don't think we need to bounce around to different areas of I think roads, bridges, those kinds of things are the most important. But I also think that we need to help people in our community as far as like when there's things in the like ruts and ditches and those kinds of things. We need to encourage those things repaired.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Smith, same question. We're going round robin here. What are your plans for economic development, managing the taxpayers' money, and oversight of fiscal operations of the county?
Well, I'd have to agree with what Sonia said on that. But we need tourism, we need stuff for the kids. The roads are in bad shape. I've been up some roads in the district that's in real bad shape, potholes, everything. Need to work good with the county judges to try to get all that fixed. That's about it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Burkhart, same question. Economic development opportunities, fiscal stewardship of the taxpayers' money, and oversight of fiscal operations.
Yes, I agree, we need tourism, but we need to fix our county before we get all these people into the county, where they have good roads to drive on and ditches. And one thing that we could work on would be animal control. We have animals everywhere. We understand that's a problem. Animals cause wrecks, animals creates garbage and everything else. We are paying Knox County $40,000 a year to house our animals. We're having to use county vehicle. We're having to buy that vehicle. We're having to have gas from our fiscal funds for the vehicle. Then we're having to hire a person to drive them to Knox County on top of the $40,000. Well, if we could take that and have a facility here and work with Noah's Ark and say, hey, you may charge $80,000 for this procedure. Why don't we do a flat rate for $30 and, you get everything that we get coming through, and that's a start for the budget for the county.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Finley? Yes. Economic development opportunities, fiscal stewardship of taxpayers' money, and fiscal operations oversight.
Much of what the county's budget is appropriated for is pretty much regulated by the KRS. There's things that you're required to do, and you have to budget for those. What's left after that, I think you have to maximize efficiencies wherever you can. Most of us are working, have already done that, have done a good job with that. Most of our sheriff's office, jailer, ambulance service, they've done a good job with that. So there's not a lot of left over from the budget standpoint for that economic development that we talk about. What we have to do is we have to upgrade our infrastructure when we can, where we can, with grant monies or whatever. That would be roads, bridges, sewers, things of that nature. I think we do have to focus on tourism as a part of the total package, not necessarily something that is going to provide a great impetus for us, but it is part of the overall package. In order to attract industry or create economic development, you have to create an environment that is conducive for those who come to our county who want to invest here or stay here.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Smith, same question, round robin style. Fiscal stewardship of taxpayers' money, economic development opportunities that you might see, and oversight of fiscal operations. Because budgets are voted on and approved by the magistrates.
Well, far as our budget, we allotted so much money a year for a budget. It has to be spent wisely. It can't be wasted, it's gotta be spent wisely. And far as getting economics coming into our county, that's something that we desperately need. We need to bring us, we need factories, we need more jobs. More jobs creates more tax money. And until we do something to get more work into our county, we're gonna be at a standstill. And I think if we work with tourism, I think tourism can help us get more money into the county. And as far as tourism, they can change the outlook of the county. But other than that, I think first our roads, you got to take care of your roads.
Yes, sir.
If you don't take care of your roads, your bridges, your infrastructure, if you let them downgrade, it takes a lot of money to bring it back. Okay. Once you get down, it's hard to get back up.
So maintenance is as important as anything on infrastructure?
Pardon me?
Maintenance of those road projects and bridges, maintenance is very important.
Definitely. If you don't maintain your roads, and your bridges, you're doomed.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Same question. Economic development, fiscal stewardship of taxpayers' money, oversight of fiscal operations.
Well, to begin with, I have to agree on the tourism. I was watching TV the other night, I think they said tourism in the state of Kentucky was a $300 million a year business. I feel like Clay County needs to get its part of that. We have some of the most beautiful scenery of anywhere they are. People need to be able to get to it with roads. If we draw in tourism and businesses, our budget would grow because we'd have more tax money to put in our budget. The more businesses we draw in, the more tourism we draw in, the more taxpayers' money we would get to help develop more development in our county. If we get that here, our businesses are gonna grow, or grocery stores, or restaurants, everything will grow if we draw in tourism and business. And we need to focus on something for our youth in this county to do. Business is a good thing to keep them here, to keep them from moving out, try to find a job in other places to live and survive. We need to fight for everything we do to get more business
Yes.
and more opportunities in this county for our youth. And I would do everything I can do to help that.
Well, thank you for mentioning the youth. As a high school principal, young people are very important to me.
Yeah,
So
well,
I appreciate you bringing that up.
right now, our youth is having to leave because there's no job opportunities here in this county for them. If we get more business, tourism is a major business,
Yes.
especially in the state of Kentucky. And I feel like Clay County needs to do everything they can do to help, to get their part of that pie. And would help tremendously.
Okay.
And keeping the roads up. You know, people want to come, look at scenery, look at sights. We got newfound, all these places, but the road needs to be accessible where people can drive a car and see these sights. Kayaking. We got some of the prettiest waterways in the state of Kentucky. That would be a major business. And tourism. You can draw them both in with one thing. I think we need to focus more on that to keep our youth.
Mr. Lunsford,
Hello, sir.
how are you?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out this evening. Same questions. Fiscal stewardship of taxpayers' money, economic development opportunities, and oversight of the budget.
I've been sitting over 3 years, and I pretty well know how much money the county's got. We're not flowing the dough.
Sure.
But anyway, I think the biggest key to getting jobs and industry here,
Yes.
children has to have something to do. I've been advocating for 10 or 15 years for a ballpark.
Yes.
You know, like 8 or 10 of them ball fields.
Yes.
We've got a place up there on Horse Creek, the Perry Thompson Park, that I've worked daily trying to get finished.
Yes.
And we could have 3 or 4 ball fields right there in that one place. It's just a matter of getting it all hooked together. Politicians in general have thought ball playing or whatever, they've never wanted to really get involved in children's sports. I think children's sports is the gate key to say, like, if somebody from Lexington come down here to build a factory,
Yes.
first thing I want to know is, where's my kids going to play at? Where's your ball fields? Where's your playgrounds and all this other stuff? Where's your soccer field? We've been in the dark for so long and have nothing to offer people. So that's one of my number one things that I've sat over in that chair and fought for, and still fighting for it. And I think we're going to get the Perry Thompson Park up and running this year.
Excellent.
Kids will be playing ball at the Perry Thompson Park. I want to keep Perry Thompson's dream alive.
Yes.
He fought so hard, walked so many miles to get donations.
Yes.
And I want to see his dream completed.
Absolutely. Mr. Thompson has a tremendous legacy of youth athletics and
Yes, sir.
supporting young people. Absolutely. So I applaud that effort as well.
And that's one of my biggest dreams for the county. Plus, we need some buildings. You cannot have industry if you have no place to put them. I challenge any man or woman to go anywhere and get some company to locate here in Clay County and put them in a smokehouse or a garage or something.
Do we have enough water to service them? Do we have the facilities to recruit?
We don't have the facilities, but we've got enough water and land to build these things. But it's just a matter of Frankfurt up there and Washington DC giving us a little money. And me and the magistrates and the county judge have fought tooth and nail every day on the phone with the governor and Rocky Atkins and Hal Rogers begging for money. It's a pretty complicated thing when you try to put it in action.
Absolutely.
And I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Mr. Jones,
Thank
standard
you.
question.
Thank you, sir. I think everybody that spoke here today is probably, we all agree, because everybody's talking virtually about the same thing. In today's society, tourism is where it's at as far as the traffic. know that there's some things been implemented, the tourism committee has started some things, I think some great things to come. That's where the money's at as far as the federal government, state government's concerned. We have to give people something to do. If we go over at London and look at what they did with Wildcat Adventures over there, my understanding that's a private thing. But I've been part of that. They've got those side-by-side rides. They do a lot of events over there, especially with the camping. And my understanding, we're probably in the process of working on that. I think that would be a big boost for our county to give people to do. I think one of the things I've heard that we're talking about doing is possibly allowing some of these side-by-sides on the streets. I know there's a right way to go about that. I'm all for going about the right way to make sure that people follow the laws that's set before them. But I think that itself would help our county, because a lot of people would go out and eat at these restaurants more often if they could get on their four-wheeler or on their side-by-side or whatever and ride up to town. Again, let me say that there's rules and regulations that we gotta follow. So I think that we have to be able to give people to do stuff to do in our town. Talking about the youth, I think you're exactly right. Our youth has been leaving for a long time. The people sitting here today, we just love our county. We didn't want to leave. We didn't stay here because of the great opportunities. We stayed here because we're grassroots play camping. We've raised our family here, and we'd love to see our family stay, but at some point, changes have to start happening. We are dying. We don't, like Hugh said, we don't have a lot of money, so we're not privileged to go out and do what Laurel County or Fayette County or some of these other bigger counties are doing. We're not privileged to that. So what we have to do is take advantage of the resources we do have. Now, we got a big new road built up here to Elk Mountain. We have a big spot up there that we need to somehow to bring some people in here, even if we have to start at the bottom. If we bring in 5 minimum wage jobs, next year let's bring in $10, $20 a job. Let's bring in what we can to serve our community. You know, if it's a matter of people going knocking on the door at Frankfurt more often, let's go knock on the door more often. Don't forget about me. I'm Clay County and we're going to change. So that's one of the things that I think, and everybody here agrees on. Tourism is where it's at right now. Now, Rabbit was talking about maintenance of the roads. If we don't maintain what we have, it fails. Now, I've got 30 plus years of experience in the water and sewer business. I've been fortunate enough, I was superintendent in North Manchester Water for years down here, and I've been part of over 1,100 miles of water and sewer line. If we don't keep water and sewer lines maintained, I do a lot of work for the city of Manchester right now as far as maintenance goes. And I see that we have an aging system, especially in our sewer system. We need to figure out how to appropriate monies to set back. We need to get somebody out hunting monies. Let's do a project. If it's a mile today, let's do a mile today. If it's 500 feet, let's do 500 feet. And tomorrow we'll be where we need to be. Tomorrow may be a month, may be 10, 20 years down the road. But we gotta start. Maintenance is the key to everything. And when we talk about our roads, we can go out and put the best blacktop down there is, but if you don't have ditch lines and culverts to carry the water and keep the water and debris off the roads, then the roads will come apart. So everything has got to work in unison with each other to be maintained and kept up. And as far as oversight goes, I think everything we do should be open to the public. The biggest thing that I hear when I go out and I'm talking to people and asking them to vote for me, I get so many people tell me that they don't have a clue what's going on in this town. Now, a lot of it is probably their own fault for not asking. It is what it is. But how about we be more open? I know that fiscal court meetings are open to the public. I think it's a great thing. But everything that we need to do, that we do with taxpayer dollars, as Moose said, as we bring these industries in, as we bring these ATV riders in, and when they go up into the restaurant needs, we're collecting the restaurant tax. As we bring jobs in, we're collecting occupational tax. So we can build our county. We're not out. We're still here. We've got a lot of things to offer people. We just need to go out and say, hey, we're offering and we're not going to stop till you take it.
Advocacy to service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, same question, fiscal oversight, taxpayers' money, economic development.
Well, I'm the last of all of them here, so they've about answered all the questions, but, I've lived in this county all my life, 53 years.
Sir.
But I've always had to have a job outside the county. Never have, not once have I had a job that paid me that I've worked with in Clay County. I've always had to drive out, drive back. But every time I come over that mountain and see exit 20, you know, it's good to be home. Although you come over that hill and you don't see a whole lot, you know, it's, when you've been out to Lexington and all these other places, it's got all these things to do. But, we're talking about physical development and tourism. Well, for tourism, you gotta have places for people to stay. And people's not gonna come for tourism if they can't stay a night in a hotel or have somewhere to rest. You know, they're gonna have to go back to London for that. So, I'm all for the tourism, but we also need more bed and breakfast, more restaurants, more hotels, but we gotta have people. And for people to come, our children are leaving in droves, they don't come back from school. So, and that's why we're dying, we're really dying, is that's what I've seen in the last 30, 40 years. Everything's just dropping off. But we have a mountain up there that's clear. There's no reason. I've heard stories that we've had companies come in here, and the biggest question is, where's your workforce coming from? Okay, when Barbara Coker was state representative, she took people around, but they asked her, where's your workforce coming from? Barbara Coker didn't have a question for that, answer for that, because you're wearing a county of what? What's her population now? You said 10,000 yesterday, somewhere around
120, if I understand it.
So, and it was around 20,000 or something like that. We would have workforce coming from other counties. It's like the prison. The prison's the biggest thing we got in the county. They supply workforce out there from other counties. If we put something on Plywood Mountain, they're gonna come. They're gonna come from Laurel County, they're gonna come from Leslie County, they're gonna come from all around. But the biggest thing, hopefully our people will be educated enough to also get those $15, $16 jobs to stay here in the county. And also, our kids will wanna come back to the county. And that's the thing I see is we're just losing our kids. They're not coming back. But taxpayers' money, it's just like my money. You've got to budget yourself. And if I've got $100,000 to spend, I can't spend $100,000 in one. I've got to keep it in. I got to keep that budget where it's supposed to be. And I know I don't know the exact numbers on the county, but you know, you get in there, you learn this stuff, and then you just fall in line with that. But we got to work together as magistrates, and we got to vote on getting more business in here, factories. Get people to take, I'm all for going out and asking factories to come build. Maybe we give them a piece of land for so many years to build and not tax them or not charge them for it. I mean, that's one way I think that we could get development. Taxpayers' money, again, it's just a matter of budgets. Operations, physical operations, it's like Louis said, it's just, you just gotta keep it in your budget and use what you got and make the best of it.
Thank you. So I'm gonna kind of summarize some of what I've heard here, and mention a couple things I don't think I did here. But we did talk about some strategic vision, how we move forward, and I think we have a consensus on tourism as an opportunity. Okay, we talk about infrastructure and maintenance of roads and bridges. We talk about youth for a moment there. One of the things I didn't hear anything about, we had a couple of comments last night, is garbage. If we're going to draw people into our communities that we're so proud of, and You know, as Dorothy said, there's no place like home, as I quote Dorothy of Kansas. We have to have a clean place for people to come. So I would like on this next round, think about what do we do about the garbage situation, illegal dumping. I know there's a free day of dumping coming up. Is that something we can finance every month? We talked about Perry Thompson's legacy of youth development and athletics and park development and opportunities. Maybe even a park where you can take your dog and they can walk, and you know, maybe it's a 30-pound dog or less. I don't know what the restrictions might need to be, but is it a daylight to dusk limitation so you don't have vandalism at night? There's nobody there trespassing. We talked about a little bit, some grants earlier. Everybody talked about grants. Is there the need for a grant officer position? Or can you contract with someone who can go out and get those monies and they get a contingency based on successful grant writing? So those kinds of things. We talk about housing, and I'm gonna back up 25 years, and we missed the boat when the prison came in here. We didn't have 100 houses ready to go. That 100 houses are in our neighboring counties now, and they're driving in. They would have lived here. Their kids would have went to our school. They spent their monies here. So we missed the boat on that one. Let's don't miss the next one. So if we're going to work on tourism, I want to think about garbage and park development and those kinds of things. So, Ms. Gray, garbage, dumping, what can we do?
I think garbage is a very serious problem in our county. I think that you could hire somebody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it will never take care of the garbage problem. I am a realist. I believe that. I mean, somebody here may have a better answer for that. But I know my husband and I, we live over in Littleton. He picks up the ditch. 2 days later, the ditch is full of trash.
Yes.
I do not think that there's an answer for that. Would I vote, encourage, pick up garbage, all that stuff? Yes, I would. But do I think that there is a real answer to that? I'm sorry, I don't see it.
I run a store down there, it's our pizza pro.
Yes.
Okay, Rabbit's cleaned it up several times, I've cleaned it up several times, it's just awful.
Yes.
The kids will come there, they just throw it out their cars at night. I don't know what kind of problem they could do to stop that. I went down Cotton Bend the other day, looking around, the garbage dumped over the hill. I think we need to force some kind of law on that.
So, do we have ordinances on the books right now? Are they not being enforced? Do we need camera operations? What kind of investigation?
Camera operation.
What do we need to do?
You can ask Rabbit right there, my parking lot's a mess, ain't Rabbit, every morning.
You can clean it up on Friday, Monday morning, it comes back around, it's the same way.
It's the same way.
And it's, garbage is out of control in Clay County.
Yeah.
You can, we've got Chris Reed's our garbage coordinator. He goes out and writes tickets. If you write somebody a ticket, you give them so many days to clean their place up. If they don't clean it up, and you go back and it's not cleaned up, then I think they should have to pay a fine. If you start making an example out of people on this garbage, until you start making an example out of people, they're gonna do it right over and over and over. Her ditch lines, like you say, like Sonia says, the jail does a great job. Linda does a great job on, if it weren't for Linda, the inmates are helping us, I would be ashamed to live in this county. It's that bad. And the ditch lines, you pick them up one day, people come right along behind you and throws it right back out. They throw out bags at them. I went over to the cemetery the other day. Somebody just set 4 bags of garbage out right on the side of the road. Just set it out. That is called disrespect, soreness, and no morals. And until we get it under control, there's no mention for it right now. But as Hugh and all the managers will tell you, it's been mentioned in the fiscal court many times how to control it. I even mentioned, okay, you got to have water to survive, don't you? Okay? I mentioned adding a garbage pickup to everybody's water bill.
Okay.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think right now, the people that's on garbage pickup in Clay County, what is roughly
That's $58, I think.
No, I think the percentage of people that's paying the garbage pickup right now is roughly 60% of people that's on the garbage pickup. If you add that garbage payment to their water bill every month, they gonna complain for a while. You ain't gonna make everybody happy, but they will get over it, and then still the people that's not paying their garbage bill, taking their garbage, throwing it over the hill. The garbage collectors will be coming by, picking it up, and disposing of the problem.
Yes.
But until that's done, there's no answer.
So we need a disincentive to live it and done.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yes, sir.
What he's saying is somewhat true, but garbage will probably be the education starting in the school system, in teaching the kids. Maybe have a class, we've got classes on everything else, on cooking, on,
Yes.
and to you name it. Have a class on economics in your county, on cleanliness in your county. Teach the kids before they get out, not to throw the window down, throw the McDonald's bag out as they go home. But what he's saying is true, you can add it to their bill, but they're still not gonna put it in the garbage bags to put it out by the road to have it picked up. That takes effort. And, I mean, yeah, they might be been charged for it,
Yes.
I've drove by houses and the garbage is piled up just like a dump site
Yes.
in most places. And, you know, they should be fined for that. I think after about a year or so, they did go around and threaten to fine them and whatever, and they cleaned it up for a little bit, and it starts right back. But education is the key to the garbage.
What can our local leaders do in the school? Can you go out and visit and talk about these jobs, talk about these opportunities? Can we be a part of the solution to educate the kids?
You have.
Because you don't cost anything as a guest speaker.
Can I speak on that?
Absolutely.
Well, I've been reading some of the duties of our elected officials and stuff, and it's people, you go by these houses, there's garbage piled up. People just throw it out there. Why don't we go around and say, hey, you've got 30 days to clean this up. In 30 days, if you ain't cleaning this mess up, the county will send workers out, we will clean this up, and we will put this on your tax bill. Yes, the county can pass the ordinance for that, because I've read up on it.
Okay.
You've got Lexington, they've got that ordinance. You know, everybody has that ordinance. You don't clean it up, we will clean it up for you. We will put this tax bill on your property. We will put a lien on your property if you don't comply with what we're saying.
So you provide an opportunity to clean up.
Yep.
And then the disincentive.
Give them 30 days, which would be plenty enough to clean it up.
Yes.
If they don't clean it up, pass the ordinance, say, hey, we're gonna put this on your tax bill, you will clean it up, we'll put a lien on your property. That will give people more incentive, more reason to keep it clean.
So that is something the fiscal court have to work with the county attorney on, develop ordinances?
The official court can pass that ordinance themselves, is what I've read in the
Okay.
manual I've got.
Okay.
You know,
You have a question?
Just a statement I'd like to make. One thing I've noticed that there is really nothing in Clay County is recycling. For cardboard, paper, metal,
Yes.
cans, and plastic bottles. Now, I have a friend that comes from San Diego, and guess what? I save all of that stuff, and he drives them all the way to San Diego to recycle it. Keeps my trash down, and I think if you had something here in Clay County, even some type of pickup, that would cut down on an awful lot of it, because most of the stuff that gets thrown out into my yard are things I could recycle in California. I can't here.
Okay. So education, incentives, a lot of those things are remunerable for money, right? Plastics and glass, et cetera.
Yes.
the government has grants up there, if you want to build a recycling plant, they would do that.
Okay,
They has grants for that.
okay.
I learned this in Macquarie County, you know. Law County has a place where they bring their garbage in, they sort it, they recycle it before it goes to the landfill. We could have that right here. We've got workers, we've got people who can do it. I'm sure Linda at the jail could, them boys would be more than glad to come out and get out of that jail to sit there and sort that out. And we could recycle. That's more money that we could put back in the county for more tax revenue to draw business, we could put that towards buying property to give Amazon a place to live, FedEx a place to live, Cracker Barrel, something to come in. If you've got these businesses, restaurants will follow.
Okay.
We need all these riverbanks. Why ain't we got campsites? If the official court owns the boat dock, it don't need it, why ain't we turn that in to a camping area? Why ain't we got places there for 25 or 30 campers? People would come. You think not? Go to Leslie County on top of that mountain, they're booked up now at $100 a night on top of a mountain for campers.
Yes.
Why ain't we doing that? I checked on doing it myself, but I'm running for office, I'm a conflict of interest, they won't let me do it now. Well, let somebody come in and lease the boat dock for X amount of years. Lease some county property and put in campers, kayak place, whatever. Give them incentive to come here.
Okay. So creative solutions
Yes,
to generate revenue and visitors.
right. If you generate something, you'll draw money.
Okay.
And say you got for 20 campsites in one spot.
Yes.
It'll be full 90% of the time. Beach Creek stays packed. On top of the mountain out here, it
Yes.
stays packed. If we had it on a riverbank where people could fish, it would stay packed. Draws more money to the community, to the county, gives us more to work with.
Can I say something about what Bruce is talking about?
Absolutely.
The campsites that he's talking about, the RV hookups and stuff, that is in the works, that is coming. There's gonna be campsites, there's gonna be RV hookups in more than one place. And that's already in the works.
In progress.
That's in progress.
You have any kind of estimated time frame on that? Just,
I'm saying that
and that you can divulge.
I'm saying that'll happen in 2022.
Okay. Fantastic. Again, we have Red Robin here, someone wants to join in.
And another thing that, most mentioned, the recycling deal. Bulldog has lobbied for that more than one time in our official court meetings. He's mentioned a recycling place here in Clay County. How many times have you talked about that?
Several times.
Yeah, and it's,
I'm gonna turn Mid-South and yonder into a recycling place.
we can't, yeah, we got a perfect place on Sessions Creek down there for a recycling place. And it ain't, as of right now, it ain't making no headway, but we ain't give up.
I have some ideas on that too.
Is there grant incentives available? We talked about grant incentives a moment ago. Is it that we are not working to get those grant dollars? Is it too expensive to set one of these up? What's the deal with not being able to get one?
We're not working to get,
A recycling center?
we're not getting the grant right.
We're not getting, listen, if you go, we go every year, we have 40 hours training every year.
Yes.
Every meeting that I go to, there's millions and millions of grant dollars out there.
Absolutely.
And you know, we're not getting them. And whose fault is that? We don't have you gotta have a grant writer to get the money.
Yes.
If you ain't got a grant writer to get the money ain't gonna just fall in your hand. You've gotta go get it. I know a guy in this county right now, he's not even a grant writer. He's not a grant writer. And he's already been awarded a $1.8 million grant. And he's not even a grant writer. He's getting $1.8 million for something that's going on in Clay County. And if we had a grant writer to pursue this money, to bring it in, we could get it.
Why is their elected officials not hired us a grant writer?
Well,
And if nothing else, haven't we got 6 magistrates and 1 county judge? Why is them several people not picking on the door of Frankfurt on a monthly, weekly basis? Here this is Clay County, don't forget us, we need this.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, what's a grant writer gonna cost us? What's it gonna make us if we get a grant writer? Why don't we?
More jobs for other people, why can't we make them?
You could hire,
There's a lot of people that gets a made-up job, hey, just make you a job. and get
you
a
could
salary.
hire a grant writer for roughly $40,000 a year, a certified grant writer.
What are we paying, or don't we have, Joe White, each fiscal court meeting,
So what's the county attorney?
county attorney, okay? We pay him for doing what?
It's not Joe White's job to get a grant writer.
But Joe White could, write, he knows how to write grants, he could.
It's not, Joe White is the county attorney that directs the fiscal court. Joe White has got he's got no responsibility to be writing a grant. You gotta have a certified grant writer to write your grants. They gotta be on document as a grant writer.
Just like you said, though, the guy that you were talking about, he's not certified. He's just doing it.
For $40,000 a year, you should be able to hire 2 or 3 grant writers.
Yeah, I think with the county attorney as chief prosecutor, I don't think it would probably, would ever have an opportunity to write a grant.
They would have an idea of how to get started.
But I think that we struck a little bit of gold here in thinking about grant opportunities.
There's millions out there.
And there are lots and lots of money and people wanting to give it away. Agencies if the agency does not give that money away, they don't get reappropriated again. So they want to give that money away.
And when you apply for a grant, you can't just go apply for a grant to put you in a place of mud wrestle. When you go apply for a grant, you've got to show on paper, if you awarded that grant money, you've got to show on paper how you can make that grant money work.
Yes.
It's got to be used for the right way. They ain't gonna give you money to just throw away. It's got to be, you got to have a plan to make it work. If you've got a plan, I have been told, and I have seen, if you apply for a grant, and there's a way that they think that you can show them that it'll make it work, you can get the grant.
And matching dollars have to be available in the budget on some grants, right?
Yeah.
That matching dollars is the question.
Yes.
Well, the
So
golf course,
So is it a priority of the fiscal court and elected officials to move on an item like this?
the golf course in Madison County just got a grant for $850,000 to put cabins around it. That's tourism.
Yes.
Well, now I do know for a fact that Cindy Donahue and everything supposed to be up here at the fiscal court, the judge office, pretty soon to advise us on how to get a grant writer,
Yes.
a real grant writer.
Yes.
We've been trying to get a real grant writer. We've been trying to get a true grant writer going on the whole year.
They're high dollar. They're not.
I know.
You probably won't get one for $40,000.
But
Yeah,
listen,
you couldn't even pay the
They're probably
taxes.
six figures.
okay,
And it's
An
not
effective one that can get you the dollars you need.
And it's not something that happens overnight either.
that's right.
I'm talking at least $100,000 or maybe $150,000 to get
If
a real
you,
grant writer.
if you pay somebody $40,000 a year in a grant writer, they go out there and get you an $800,000 grant. $40,000 is nothing.
You can't get one for $40,000.
Well, you can get,
Bill Smith built a campground on top of a hill and didn't spend a dime, and he got a grant for it.
it was all grant money.
And he's
It's
not
all
certified.
grant money, right?
He's got his grant.
So I want to challenge the candidates and the current officials. Let's get this done. Let's find a way to get a legitimate grant officer
I'm 100%.
and get it done and not on 10 years from now.
Well, I can't say we ain't gonna try.
I know.
Sir, you can
Yes.
hire grant writers that won't charge you anything until you get the money, and they will take a percentage of it.
Well, there are various ways of doing things, but my challenge is to the fiscal court and the magistrates and the elected officials and those who are seeking those offices to make it a priority in this next 4 years.
I just talked to the best grant writer in history right up there at EKU, at that Soros thing.
Yes.
He says that, they don't do that, what she said there.
Continue.
You can't, they won't do percentage no more.
Okay.
You gotta have money.
Again, I'd like to see this leadership group do something on this and find a way
Yeah.
to get a qualified, legitimate grant writer.
The fiscal court and the judge never quits. It's just daily. Johnny back there works from daylight till midnight.
Absolutely. Good deal. As we move to close this session up, is there anything else you'd like to say before we do a closing?
Yeah,
Mr. Jones.
I'd love to, get back to the original question with the garbage. I feel your pain, Sonny, on the garbage, I really do. I'm privileged to live down below the new road that our state built down Bay Street.
Yes.
Wonderful road, Rhodes is where it's at, this road is being built up by, Quickie Market, up Patience Creek. It's a headache why it's being built, but this is a plus for Clay County. Anytime we can build a road, especially with somebody else's money, that's awesome. And I get the privilege of driving down that road on a daily basis. and the unfortunate privilege of seeing the garbage on a brand new road that, let's go back to Linda, that her people picked up several times, but yet it just seems to come back. Last Friday, I had the opportunity to take off a little early and spend an afternoon with my wife riding around. And I got behind a log truck, and just all at once, a pop can comes out the window. And that kind of got me because I didn't expect a log truck driver to do this. So I think the key with everybody, everything that everybody said, the key is accountability.
Yes.
Whatever that may be. If we catch somebody littering, listen, the pocketbook changes hearts. It changes everybody's heart. Taxpayers' money, clean it up. Now listen, we live in a town, a lot of people don't have $20 a month to pay for it. And I sympathize with those people. I really, truly do. Being a number 11 and 12 kids, I grew up pretty hard. I know what it's like not to have supper on the table. So I sympathize. But however, accountability is the only way to fix the problem. If we don't, listen, if we can't pay the bill, let them work it out. Let them get out and pick up garbage. Clean it up somehow. I mean, there's different ways. We could all sit here, everybody here has got a good idea on what to do. We work together and clean this up. Now, as far as grants, I agree, we need grants. However, I don't know that I'm fixated on a grant writer, $40,000 a year. If I was a grant writer, I'd say, listen, don't even talk to me with $40,000 a year. He said $150,000, now we're talking about a grant writer. But do we want to commit that kind of money as a county to an individual to bring us money? Now, as long as this individual brings us money, everybody's happy. But what about when this individual's not bringing us money? I would be more to contract with a firm that if they don't get you money, they don't get paid. That's how they make their living. And there's firms out there every day, so the county has no commitment. But yet you got somebody out here willing to work daylight to dark, just like Johnny's doing. I know Johnny's working hard. Everybody's working hard here. We're trying. We're in a poor town, and we're trying hard. But I think if we do grant writer, I think we contract with a firm that's how they make their living, and that way that they're inspired to do something for us. Accountability.
I just want to say, how come our magistrates are not working for our people? If you're hired by the people to work, if you hire a sheriff, he is hired to be a sheriff. If you hire a county judge, he is elected to be a county judge. We're elected magistrates that works 9 to 5 in a garage, works 9 to 5 in a gravel pit, 9 to 5 driving a log truck, whatever that may be. You know, we need to elect people that's going to work for the people. Just like myself, I don't got a 9 to 5 job. I would go out to distance charity and pick up 5 or 6 people, take them out in my area, pick up garbage. If I had to do that once a week, oh well, I'm getting elected, I'm getting paid to do that. If I need to go to the jail, pick up inmates, take them out, pick up garbage. You know, just like yesterday, I was with a crew of 75 people from OBI, students. Why can't we have our students out? Get them out, get them involved in picking up garbage, get our ball team, you know, whatever it may be, and let our magistrates be out working for what they're getting paid for. You know, I mean,
If you're out picking it up, you're less likely to throw it out.
right?
Does the private organization still exist? Do they used to operate effectively and provide a lot of incentives and dollars to support and education? Does Pride even exist? Does anybody even know that program anymore?
No.
You know, are we accessing those, are we leveraging those dollars and those networks? So I want to close this up and
Can I
give you
say
an opportunity to wrap up.
one more thing when he talk about, I'm not picking on you.
No.
Talking about the magistrates not working for the people, okay? I ran heavy equipment for 38 years. I retired in 2012, okay? Politics never crossed my mind. A state police called me and said, Rabbit, you need to run for mayor. I said, don't want nothing to do with it. He said, well, think about it. And I thought about it for 2 weeks, and I talked to my son, and he said, what's that? He said, go ahead and run. He said, what you got to lose? I said, nothing. So I decided to run for mayor. Well, I got elected, okay? The money that we make, that us magistrates make, It's nothing. It's nothing. But you know, I didn't run for master to draw that little master check. I ran for master because I wanted to make a difference in my community. I wanted to help the people in my community. And when people elect you, they elect you to help them, not yourself.
Yes, sir.
So when I sat down in that, every fiscal courtroom, every fiscal meet that I sat down in, I'm there for one reason. I'm there to help the people. I'm not there to help two people. Clay County is one place. It's a whole. You treat everybody the same, and if you lose their respect, you don't gain it back. And there's one thing you don't do to people. You don't lie to them.
I agree.
And I'm gonna say one thing before I get off here. When I was a young boy, I'm gonna say two things. When I was a young boy, my daddy told me two things I've never forgot. Number one, you make your bed, you lay as you get up for. Number two, he told me something I've never forgotten, I've always lived by it. Once the words come out of your mouth, they're not going back in. And getting back to the accountability. When I was a young boy, walking up and down the road, barefooted, picking up pop bottles, you could pick up pop bottles and sell them for 6 cents a piece. I'd pick up 2 pop bottles, I'd go down to Packers grocery, and I'd get me a free pop.
I sold for 10.
Okay, but listen, there wasn't no garbage. The only thing you saw in this line back then was a glass pop bottle, or there wasn't no garbage.
But people didn't have access.
I know.
You know.
And getting back to accountability. I remember it plain as day. Right down below where I was raised, there was a sign that said, littering, $500 fine. If you enforce that 3 or 4 times on certain people that does it, and make an example out of them,
Where to get around?
it will get around and it will make a difference. Accountability.
Who's going to enforce it?
That's what we got.
You have a chief prosecutor and county attorney that needs to work with the fiscal court. I want to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll start on this side since we started over here earlier. Why should you be magistrate? Why should you be elected? Go.
Well, I think I should be magistrate because the last 4 years, I've not seen any, big changes in the county. I know COVID, probably hurt a little bit. I know that, the floods and things, put a little money here and there and kept them busy. But I think the group that was in there, we need to start new with, new magistrates. We had 4 years, we've not really seen no change. I think give a new crew 4 years and see what we can do to, make a difference. And if that crew can't do any good, give somebody else next time 4 years.
You're suggesting change.
So I'm suggesting change because they've had 4 years to do, and I've not seen any major changes in the county. The roads that's been happening now is all state. The bridges that's all washed out, FEMA fixed. The magistrates can't take credit for that because that was going to have to be fixed anyway, FEMA money. So give 6 more people a chance to get in there and see if we can get grants, see if we can get tourism going, see if we can get all these things that we've talked about, garbage and all that.
Mr. Jones.
First off, I'd like to thank you all for this opportunity. Why should I think I should be magistrate? First off, I've got 34 years in this county and all over the state of working on the roads, with water and sewer, gas and utilities. And I'm at a point in my life, I'm kind of like Rabbit as you age, whatever, and getting more concerned about our county. I would just like to have an opportunity to see what I can do. Now, I'll be the first to say, if given the opportunity, if I can't accomplish anything, I won't run again. I feel that we should accomplish. I feel that I have an opportunity and ability to do that. The company that I run right now allows me to be anywhere I want to be in this county. I don't want to say at any time, but I have a lot of freedom because I work for myself. So I can go out and meet and deal with a lot of people. Now, one of the things that I can do, if the county comes in with projects, especially waterline projects, I've got 34 years experience of this. I've been superintendent for several different companies. you know, there's a lot of things that I could advise the county on when it comes to water and sewer projects, because that is my specialty. I've got several over the years, treatment license, distribution license, currently a master plumber and a journeyman plumber. I'm an equipment operator, just like, Rabbit said, and I know Rabbit's been out doing things before. And I'm not picking sides here, we're making conversation, we're all friends here. We're all family, we live in Clay County, nobody's enemies here. We're vying for a job. I want a job, that's all I'm after. So why should I be a magistrate? I think I can, with the expertise that I have gained over the last 34 years, I think that I can help my communities. I think I can advise the county on projects, and I think I can do the county some good.
So you're talking about change and accountability?
Yes, sir.
I'm a magistrate in District 3.
Okay.
Every month, I get $953. I give that away plus 300 more. I try to give $900, $1,200 every month that I keep this job. I just got through sitting over in a court meeting that I wouldn't have made what votes, the 3 votes I made over there for the 1,200. That's not the job that you think it is over there. That is a heart-wrenching job. It's not about water lines and grant writers. It's about people's lives here in this county and changing them and trying to do good. But it's not smoke and mirrors. When you get over there and you sit in the chair and some old grandma comes from out of the middle of nowhere and she says, I want my creek fixed, or I want my road fixed, and you say, lady, I just can't do that because it's against the law.
Okay.
She says, well, they used to do it. So I think that the fiscal court has moved this county, and the county judge has moved this county forward. Since I've been over there, things is a lot different. It's honest, straightforward, open. I invite everybody to come to every fiscal court meeting. Every day when I'm out there, we're gonna have a court meeting. I say, come up to the court meeting. I want you to see what Mr. Lunsford is doing. This is all my friends, but that's just the way it is.
Transparency and consequential decisions.
Yes, bad consequences.
Or
We just made some today that, like I said, I want to have my name hooked onto them for what little I get at the end of the month.
We have to make some tough today.
Begin with, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about none of our magistrates, you know, just listen, they all do excellent work, every one of them, or I think they do. I just think I've got maybe better ideals,
There's nothing wrong with that.
better vision, a different vision of what they got.
Okay.
And I will work and do my best for my district and for my county. I'll give my best to the best of my ability. I'll do it.
Okay.
And I'm like, look, if I don't do what I think's satisfied with, like I said, I'm not saying nothing about nobody. They do good jobs. They've done a lot for our county. I just feel like I might have a little better idea than what they've got. Their judges, their sheriff, all of our elected officials does excellent work. I just believe I feel like I've got better visions.
Okay. New vision, fresh
A
approach.
new, fresh approach to try to draw in new business, trying to give our youth something to do. And on the garbage, back there. Why in the city have we not got garbage cans sitting in these parking lots?
They don't use
They
it.
don't use it? Well, we took them out in Manchester.
They'll throw it down right the window, the
They
garbage
turn
get
them
out from
off.
them,
They turn them off.
or turn them off.
Let's make them accountability for that. Let's fine them.
Well, why do I think I should get reelected this for a second term? First of all, I think I've done a good job for my community, for this county, and the people in my district. I've helped people in not only my district, I've helped people in other districts. And far as not getting anything done over the last 4 years, I think we have moved this county forward. In abundance is right there. The county workers, every county workers making more money than they made 4 years ago. And just like, saying we don't, not picking on them, saying we don't do anything. Well, over my last 3 years in my district, I blacktopped 8 roads. I blacktopped 8 roads in my district in the last 3 years. I've had put in. I've had numerous tiles and covers replaced. It's just, and like Bulldog said, when we sit down over at that table, it's not about us. It's about what can we do for the people to make this a better place to live. And you can't sit over and work for yourself. You gotta work for the people. And I think we've done a great job. And in the next 4 years, I think I hear the statement the other day, in 3 years, the next 3 years we want no Clay County. And I know a little bit of what he's talking about. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. I know what's going to be done. And I think it's me being a part of that, I can help make a difference. So that's
You know what progress and performance? Thank you. Mr. Finney.
I was born in Clay County, was raised in Clay County, educated my children here in Clay County, raised my family here, been here all my life. Love Clay County with a passion. Wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Shared that with some people the other day. As much as Laurel County has gone through it, I said, I don't want to be Laurel County. I want to be Clay County. And I want to be the best Clay County that we can be. So we sit here and we compare ourselves to what's going on over there. It's not realistic for us to think in Clay County we can have over here what they have over there. I think we're at a pivotal moment in Clay County's history. We have advances in technology that is just going to transform everything. We didn't even mention technology when we were talking about jobs. Telework is hiring people every day. So we're at a point you don't have to have a building to have a job, even though that's coming that way. I've served Clay County as deputy coroner for 17 years, coroner for 8 years. I currently sit on the, actually chair of the Board of Health, Clay County Board of Health, sit on the Common Valley District Health Board. So I know what it's like to balance budgets in different times and try to achieve the maximum efficiency that you can out of the budget. Still do what you need to do and still have the vision to see what's out there to reach for. And I think we as a county, like I say, I think it's pivotal. I think right now is the time we have to do that. I don't think it's an option 10 years down the road. So if that means getting Sandy Donahoe to write grants for us, that's what it means. Tourism is, we've got a lot of groups that are working tourism already. Everything you guys have said is true. Do I think tourism is the answer to all our problems? No. But it is part of that overall infrastructure environment that you have to create to make it conducive for people to come to Clay County and want to come to Clay County and want to stay here when they get here.
So this is the moment in time.
This is a moment in time. And every election is that way to a certain extent, but with the national environment, I guess, which has an effect on what's happening here. You throw in technology on top of that. Even our values are being challenged like they've never been challenged before. So change is here. It's a matter of we want to change with it or not. It's not whether these guys did a good job or didn't do a good job. I'm sure every single one of them did the best they could with the dollars they had to work with the circumstances that they were dealing with at the time. So I say this, and you're right, it is pivotal. It is a pivotal moment for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, I just feel like, I would work in my community. I would be out every single day. Like I said, if it was going to Distance Charity, if it was going to the jail, if it was going to Chad's Hope, if I just picked up 2 guys 2 times a week and picked up a mile's worth of garbage, it may be there next week, but at least it was gone that day. You ain't got 2 piles, it'll one. And, the main thing would be, managing our budget and working with the people, and I would, I definitely want to work with the fire departments, and, I've been on the fire department a long time for Oneida, work with, the rescue, they all need help. We, just mainly working with the community and just, seeing what we can do different, and driving in these hollers and, asking the people, hey, what's your all's opinion? What do you, I can't drive up this holler and say, hey, this guy needs a tile here, talk to these people and say, hey, listen, what's going on here? What do we need to do for you all? You all are the one electing me. What can I do for you all? What do you feel like needs done in your area? And then work as best I can to fix that.
Active service, active engagement?
Absolutely. And, being for the people.
Thank you. Sir?
I think Sonia's done a great job as master. I just think we got different opinions. If I was elected, I'd work for the youth, work with the county judge, see if everything go right. And just try to help everybody out.
So change, youth development?
Youth development. And one other thing, before we go, I want to thank Steve and Danielle back there. They do a great job picking up the garbage. Everybody forgot them. They do a great job.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Ms. Gray, would you wrap it up for us?
I will wrap it up, so the best part. I'm kidding. What I was gonna say is, I am sitting here in a different situation in that I was appointed after my dad passed away in September. My dad taught me, my brother, and my sisters to love our friends, family, and neighbors, to work hard, and to be good to every person. I have been working at the same job. I am a case manager for an attorney's office here in Morgan College, Easton Salyer, have been for 29 years. I've never job topped or anything like that. I've been what you would call a loyalist. I feel as though that I could help my district, and the main thing for me is when a person goes out to vote, it's basically who they want to deal with. Who can be, contacted easier, who can, as far as promising somebody, I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm one vote, but it's one vote that I would definitely try to help my district, and I agree with Reddit, we are all Clay County. And, I just feel as though there are many things like, it would be good to be able to know all these, I guess, water lines or other different things, but you can't get to that point until you get past the paperwork, the documentation, the legal, we have Joe, but understanding legal terms and those kinds of things. I just feel as though that I would be an asset to our fiscal board.
So you're talking about service and commitment to the community?
Yes.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening.
I have a question.
Okay, yes, sir.
It's more an observation. I live in District 1. I don't know this car wash that's on 421, if that's in my district or if it's in another district. I don't know what the lines are. But like, as far as garbage and littering, we kind of zero in on residential, with the garbage, but in that instance, that car wash, or what used to be, I guess, is a car wash, is like a magnet for people and trash. They hang out there, especially in the summertime with the shade in there, and they throw the trash out, which then blows across the road, which then blows into the creek or river, I don't know what it is. Which then, you know, you talk about the tourism and kayakers and stuff, but who wants to kayak down the creek or river with Dairy Queen bags, you know, hanging around on your oar? So, and I know this is democracy, you can't make somebody tear down something, you know, but I don't know, like, who owns it, and I don't know if you had them put up no trespassing signs, would it keep people, you know, away from that location, or they just move to another location to hang out? And that's just my thought, having just not lived there that long. The plus side is it does have a payphone, which could be a good tourist attraction. That's probably the payphone on the face of the earth.
I don't think it works in it.
So I want to thank all the candidates for coming out this evening and showing your perspective on the voters.
The road goes through there.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, guys.